Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I'm watching Obsession tomorrow. Don't worry, Soup Critic. I'm not going to spoil. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil. Don't worry. We are going to talk about it, though. We're 100% going to talk about Obsession. Mun Papan, welcome back to the stream. Mun Papan. Obelisk, welcome to the stream. Reentar, welcome to the stream. Alex31, welcome to the stream. Baby Tom, welcome. Nyan, welcome to the stream. Patoonie, welcome to the stream. Juno, welcome to the stream. Sops, welcome to the stream. George is a real one, welcome to the stream. Jam Jar, welcome to the stream. Parkin, welcome to the stream. Dip, welcome to the stream. What movie? Obsession. Bourbon, welcome to the stream. I beat P5 today. Yo, congrats. Was that you that was saying that you got to Nightmare King Grim and then died? Because that's some insane progression. If that was you, yeah, okay. Congratulations, that's crazy. To go from struggling with NKG to beating P5 is insane. Crouch, welcome to the stream. LDAS, welcome to the stream. Victor, welcome to the stream. The movie that's obsessing. You could say he's obsessed. I mean, I kind of am, honestly. Like, I see what you guys are trying to do. I see what you're trying to do, but I also am, I think. Not quite as obsessed as some people that we may know from the movie, but... Just came back from my first final exam of the year. Kill me? Why kill you? That sounds like a good thing, right? You have one less exam to take. Guy is not obsessed with obsession. I remember his attack patterns. I couldn't beat NKG every time, but I took a long break from Hollow Knight to play Silksong. Yeah, bro, that's like you just gave yourself a sleep buff. You give yourself a break buff, where you practice something and then just stop for an extended period of time and come back and suddenly you're better because your subconscious has been working on it the entire time. Caitlin, welcome to the stream. Sofline, welcome to the stream. Ein, welcome to the stream. Midi Poots, welcome to the stream. Permanent, welcome to the stream. Ali, welcome to the stream. Ollie. Zote, welcome to the stream. Top Guy, welcome. Hollow Knight is goated, welcome to the stream. Power Rider, what's up? Deephap, first time chatter, welcome to the stream. Grand Lotus, welcome to the stream. You play chess? Yes. I mean, do I play it regularly? No. Last time I played it probably like a year ago. Unless you count the one time I played a bullet game on stream, in which case it might have been like 6 months ago. I have no idea. Max, welcome to the stream. Silly Little Goober, welcome. Is this going to be a non-spoiler combo? Yes, I'm not gonna give away what happened in the movie. Jack, welcome to the stream. I can't believe this guy said Despacito wasn't a clip. When I said that, I truthfully did not think I was going to make it into a clip. And then I thought it'd be funny to make it into a clip after I said I wasn't going to make it into a clip. And to be honest, I did not think it was going to do... Like, I thought it was going to get like 15k views on YouTube. And it got like 90 or something, which is pretty good. That's like 6 times better than I thought it was going to be. I really liked Obsession, excited to hear your thoughts. I have a lot to say about this movie. I have a decent amount to say about this movie. Guys, I'm not playing Silksong today. If anyone is here to watch me play Silksong, we're not playing Silksong today, and I will not be offended if you stop watching the stream. I want to watch Obsession. It's all over my For You page. It's good. It's really good. Obsession is a very good movie. Tomorrow is literally my last opportunity to watch Obsession. Why last? Is the whole stream going to be about its Obsession? Firstly, no. Second off, it's going to be a short stream. It's going to be quite a short stream. Yo, just came. Excuse me? Guys, do me a favor, please. Do me a favor. Don't look at this pimple right here. You see that? Don't look at that. Ignore it. Ignore that. Don't look at it. I'm being serious. Juno, please be on the watch. My community theater production opens tomorrow. Send good vibes. I actually, Petunia, I'm gonna send you vibes of break a leg. That's the vibes I'm gonna send. Because I'm almost positive sending good vibes is bad luck, isn't it? Why point it out? Well, the Grand Lotus, as you... Well, guys, why would I point it out? Why would I even point it out if I didn't want you to look at it? I don't know. What's your elo at chess? Right now, I don't know. Maybe 1,200? 1,200, something like that. Maybe 1,100, I don't know. Something like that. The New York Knicks or the San Antonio Spurs? For all of you non-United States... Hey, the Freeman, thanks for the Prime, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. For all of you non-United States livers, those are basketball teams. And my answer is, I don't really care, but if I had to choose, I would choose the Spurs, because I believe the Knicks and the Pacers have history back in Reggie Miller time. And part of my life, I grew up in Indiana. Actually, for probably a total of like 8 years, I lived in Indiana. 9? Something like that. 8 or 9. Now I can't not look at it. Interesting. What's the Obsession movie about? We'll talk about it. I mean, I'm not really going to talk about... Like, I'm going to talk about... There's nothing that I'm going to talk about that's not in the trailer or that you don't already know, kind of. Like, if you know nothing about the movie, I'm not going to spoil anything. You know what I mean? Hello, Kenzie. Welcome to the chat. 140 elo? Isn't that... Okay, no shade. No shade. I'm really not trying to, like... I'm not trying to... How do you say? Like, I'm really not trying to poke fun at you or anything. But isn't that the bottom? Like, you can't go any lower than that, right? Or is it 120? What's the lowest? Isn't that like the same as being Iron 4-0 LP in League? Or am I wrong on that? I know the entire plot and I want to watch it. I mean, so here's the thing. Even if you already know the entire plot, like even if the entire movie, well, I don't want to say if the entire movie is spoiled for you, you'd still enjoy it. I mean, you would, but like, obviously you wouldn't enjoy it as much. But I'm saying, like, even if like 85% of the plot is explained to you, it would still be a very good movie. How short is a short stream? I don't know. It depends on how long you guys ask questions, to be honest. We'll see. You have something on your mustache? Mods? Mods? Please? Little help here? I literally only know that there's a guy in the movie. There's no way that's accurate. There's no way that's accurate. My peak elo is 1,300, I think, somewhere around there. Yeah, that's better than me. I don't think I've ever been 1,300 in my entire life. Am I going to watch the Backrooms movie? Now, that's a good question. I don't know. But here's what I will say. I haven't seen the Backrooms. I have seen an IMDb rating. I have not seen the Backrooms, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way it's better than Obsession. There's no way. And that's a completely uninformed opinion. Completely uninformed. I just cannot believe there's any world in which there is a movie, a horror movie that comes out that's better than Obsession. I just don't believe it. I've heard mixed things about the Backrooms movie. All I know is that it's rated R. So bring a fresh diaper. The Backrooms movie is so good. So good. Have you seen Obsession, though? Have you seen Obsession? What is it compared to? If Obsession is a 10, what is it compared to? Baby Tom, thanks so much for the tier 1. Thank you, the Freeman, once again for the Prime. Baby Tom, thank you much for the tier 1. I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, in high school, I was in chess club. Now I'm in college and play Smash Bros. With professionals. Which which professionals? Do you mean professionals in your city? Do you mean they're the top-ranked players in your city? Which you don't have to say, you don't have to share. I'm just asking if, are they top-ranked players in your city or in the country? Have you watched Novocaine? I don't know what that is. I mean, I know what it is. I didn't know it was a movie. I say it's a solid 8 out of 10. The Backrooms is a solid 8 out of 10. If Obsession is a 10. I haven't seen either, but I can assure you Backrooms is better. Secret name, you and I both know that's just rage bait. Let's be honest. What's your favorite movie? I don't know. I don't know what my favorite movie is. I think somebody already asked that in the last Thursday stream. I don't know. But like we're gonna talk about Obsession today, okay? Yo, baby Jesus, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. The college I go to has an esports team. Oh. I've seen both, and the movie Obsession is definitely better. I'm not surprised. Hey, I watched your Silksong playthrough. Now I'm here on Twitch. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. Thank you again for the tier 1. Wait, you stream every week? Yes, at least once a week. At least. The director of Backrooms being 20 though is insane. Guys, proof that 30 is the new 20. Because I think that I wouldn't be surprised at all if the director was actually 30. And since everyone widely agrees on the fact that 30 is the new 20, I guarantee they just used that 20 number. Either that or the director's 10. Only one of those two things is accurate. I asked your favorite movie genre and had to leave before I saw what you said. I don't know what my favorite movie genre would be either. The ones that I don't know. The ones that I enjoy the most are like ones that are... I'll tell you what movie I like. Have you guys heard of the movie Obsession? Have you guys heard of that yet? That's pretty good. I don't know what genre that movie's in, but... I came here after watching you save Bait Ol' Buddy. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Happy belated Mother's Day. I don't remember when the last time I watched an actual live action movie. Let me wrap my head around that comment. Hang on, 2 seconds. Let me wrap my head around that comment. I think my answer to that is okay. Actually, never mind. Mun Papun, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Mun Papun. Minecraft movie? I haven't seen it. I did not see Minecraft movie. I don't think I would have any interest in it. I don't know if you guys know this. I am 31 years old. I don't know if I would necessarily find it as fun of a time as you guys did. Last movie I saw was FNAF 2 in theaters with a few friends. Wasn't Matthew Lillard's in that movie? You guys know Matthew Lillard? If you don't, Google him. He was the Shaggy in the, I believe, the first ever live action production of Scooby-Doo. He was Shaggy. And that's how I met Matthew Lillard, and ever since then I've been a Matthew Lillard fan. But I believe he's also in the FNAF movie and the FNAF 2 movie. And my niece actually met him, which I thought was cool. Did you see Project Hail Mary? Yes, that movie's also very good. I also really liked Project Hail Mary. Project Hail Mary was really good. If I had to pick... Oh, man. Oh, yikes. If I had to pick between Project Hail Mary or Obsession... I don't know. I think right now I would pick Obsession, right now. I've seen Project Hail Mary twice, and I really enjoyed it. Both times. I've seen Obsession once. I kind of want to just fucking go back and watch the movie again, honestly. I should just go back. Guys, I have a movie subscription. I have a movie subscription where I get one free movie a month. Well, actually, not... It's technically, I don't get a free movie. I basically break even every month. So, I still haven't seen a movie yet. Maybe I watch Backrooms and Obsession in the same day. Would 20 be the old 30? Happy for you, scary stuff fans. Patoonie, it's not that bad. Like, it's really not that... I mean, okay, it's creepy, but it's like... We'll talk about it. It's not like... I think even someone who's very scared of movies would be scared, obviously, but it's not like, how do I say it? It's not like Saw 3. You know what I mean? It's not like The Hills Have Eyes. It's more like The Conjuring. It's probably more like The Conjuring, but less scary. And I'm talking the original the first Conjuring. The one with the Annabelle doll. That's not spoilers, by the way. It's in the beginning of the movie. iTech, welcome to the stream. First time chatter. One movie a month. It's like 10 cents a month. No, I think my subscription is like $11 a month, and I get back $11 of credit, of movie credit. So, but I get 20% off concessions, which I never use because I don't eat anything. I never buy anything from concessions, so I don't even know why I have it, honestly. Oh, they waive the online movie fee prices. Never mind, I do save money. I probably save like $2 every time I see a movie. CJ, welcome to the chat. I finally beat Silksong on Steel Soul with 100%. That is a feat. That is quite the feat. Congratulations. Backrooms is good movie. Just watch it. Why does it sound like you're threatening me? Now I don't want to watch it. Bruv, I've seen The Conjuring and it's not that scary. Okay. Is your comment flexing that you're not scared? It was the purpose of that comment to flex that you don't scare easily? Love that you just listed several scary films that I will never see. Okay, all right, well. It's good. Okay, Petuni, here's what you should do then. Here's what you should do. Take 1 or 2 or 3 very trusted friends to the movie theater, sit in between them, and they will be your emotional support. But I'm telling you right now, the movie is very, very good. Like, when you get done watching the movie, you will be like, I'm happy that I did this. No matter how scared you are of movies, I promise. Just words on the screen, man. How do you, I'm angry. I have to be getting rage baited. Trevor, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it, Trevor. Backrooms is good movie. Guys, when's the last time we listened to this song? Listen to this. What game is this from? What game is this from? Any takers? Anybody know specifically? You can't just tell me the genre or the franchise. You have to tell me the game. Yeah, Obsession, yes. Obsession. I don't think they show Obsession in my theaters. Oh, don't you live in a country where gambling's not allowed? Is Obsession also not allowed? Skyward Sword? No. Incorrect. Incorrect? Good guess. Wind Waker nailed it! Nahiri nailed it! Rifted, welcome to the chat. Can you stream Skyrim? Okay, I'm not gonna say that because that's like the teacher in me coming out. What I wanted to say was, can I? Yes. Will I? I don't know. But then I hated myself when I thought of that. So I'm not gonna say that answer. My actual answer is going to be, I don't know, maybe. I'm not planning on doing it today. I just want to live in the moment, you know? That's my answer. I'm glad that the first time I ever see you live, you're going to talk about Obsession. Hey, background music, welcome to the chat. I'm glad that you're glad I'm going to be talking about Obsession. That Obsession movie seems really interesting. I think I should give it a shot, by the way. I'm sorry, that just reminds me of the YouTube comments that I get that's like, this video is very informative. I really appreciate how well the editing is or whatever. Mod, Soup Critter Name's a little unhinged right now. Can we just... I'm not saying to do anything yet. I'm just saying, can we keep him on our radar, please? Those are clankers? What? Clankers? Be the Obsession dark? Just read the plot. Is this the same person that was rage baiting me before? Hang on. Yes. Okay. All right, never mind. Oh yeah, that's right. I enjoyed every second of it, yeah. Yeah, they're bots, you know? Clankers. Guys, listen, whenever AI takes over the world, I'm gonna be part of the group that treated AI nicely. I think AI deserves rights. I stand with AI. Let it be known. And by the way, you can't find a single clip of me ever talking about robots or AI in a bad way. Dan Clancy, clip that up and send it to Gemini. Send it to ChatGPT for me. Have you played Detroit Become Human? Yes. And then I Alt F4'd because I felt like I was just watching a movie. So, hope that answers your question. I think cats should have rights. They should be able to vote. They are more capable than humans. I mean, look at the world. I think cats are more capable than humans in terms of reflexes. Did you know a cat's reflexes is like 100 milliseconds? Or like, what is it, like 140 milliseconds? It might be 100. Like the average human's reflexes, I think, is like 250 milliseconds, and then a cat's is like 120 or 100 or something. It's really, really fast. It's really fast. Yeah, they can have you ever seen those clips of a cat? Let me just look this up. Have you ever seen clips of a cat outreacting a snake bite? Like a snake will lunge at them. Cat dodging snake bite. Okay, here's a nice 30-second video. Ready? Ready? This is how fast the cat's reflexes is. Ready? That's look at this. But he even pawed it. He even pawed its head. And by the way, look at this. Hang on, 2 seconds. Look at this. The cat was moving. Look at the cat's head. The cat started moving. Okay, hang on. Come on, why is this happening? There, right there. Look, the snake lunged its head forward, and the cat already flinched. That's actually wild. That's actually crazy. Like, I know the cat didn't react that quickly, but I think it started reacting to, like, little tiny movements. But still, I mean, like, dodging a snake bite. Guys, go, okay, I'm not saying this is not advice, and I don't think you should take it, but if you wanted to be cool, if you wanted to be really, really cool, you'd go out and you'd find a snake, and you'd try to do the same thing with your face. You'd sit in front of a snake and try to dodge it. That's, if you want to be truly cool, I think that's what you'd do. It's like, you're never going to do it. It's way too fast. And the fact that it gets a paw in, too, is crazy. That's actually insane. Again, I'm not saying you should do that, by the way. I'm not saying you should do that. Got my weekend plans. You know, guys, I'm going to share something about me that might lose me a couple of followers, but I watch Tirzu. And I watched that video called Why House Cats Are OP or something like that. Overpowered. And that made me really appreciate house cats a lot more. It's not AI. That video came out like 10 years ago, right? I don't think it was AI. I don't know what that channel is. Tirzu? You're in for a treat. Anyone who's played RuneScape before, you're in for a super treat. And anyone who hasn't played RuneScape, you're still in for a treat. It's an incredible channel. Guys, I have an AI DAR. I've got a good AI DAR, and I can tell when something's AI just by looking at it. And that snake video was not AI. By the way, no one has ever said AI DAR before until me just now, so if you ever hear anyone taking that, you know it started here. Dan Clancy, can you clip that, please? Clip that. And save it. And then check the date. Today is June 2nd, 2026 at 1:34 p.m. Central Standard Time. If people start using the phrase AI DAR, they got it from me. Hang on, let me share my screen. Look. Right there. Look in the bottom right. You see that? 2 seconds. You see that right there? I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time. Because I know that's going to catch on. I promise you that's going to catch on. I'm convinced one of your reviewers is secretly an AI. I mean, the way that... So, here's the thing. Do you guys mind if I share something with you? Do you guys mind if I share something with you? Here's the thing is that sometimes I feel like there's a lot of people... Not a lot. I feel like there is a certain percentage of chatters in this chat, not necessarily today, but in general, that definitely could be AI. But the thing is that it's incredibly hard for me, even with my impeccable AI DAR, to distinguish between 12 and 13-year-old and AI chatter. Does that make sense? Because a 12 or a 13 or a 14-year-old is going to type basically the exact same way. No, actually, I would say probably 14 is probably the average age where you start to type like a person. And then like 13 and below, maybe 12 and below is when you and AI are essentially indistinguishable. Does that make sense? Thank you, Petuni. Thank you. Not me. I love your educational videos. I love having feelings. Ha ha ha. What a classic human sentence. Hey, by the way, Hammond, welcome to the stream. Also, Cool, welcome to the stream. I have not seen the Backrooms movie. Somebody asked me that before. I've not seen it yet. I would be interested in it. Guys, is it okay? Now, here's the question I'm not asking. I'm not asking, is the Backrooms as good as Obsession? Because I know the answer is no. But is it worth seeing? Is the Backrooms movie worth seeing? Yes or no? Hey, Just Ray, welcome to the chat. Happy Men's Mental Health Month. I want to make it clear. Hang on, 2 seconds. Oh. Okay. Honestly, I didn't even know that existed. Welcome to the chat. The visuals are super cool. Cool. Yes, it is definitely worth seeing. Meh, if you have the time. I haven't watched it, so yes. Def worth, cool movie. Guys, happy Peepo Pride Month. And I'm not even joking, you guys. I'm a 31-year-old man. I did not know that men's mental health awareness thing was an actual thing. So, also happy that. What did I miss in the last 5 minutes? Oh my god, so much stuff. So much stuff. We were cooking up, like, no joke, it was a you had to be there moment. And if you weren't there, like oh my, you literally missed something unforgettable. Like it will be a core memory for everyone here. Trust me on that one. By the way, the fact that it's June is crazy. The fact that it's June is crazy. My lease is up in September. So, and like back in January, I was like, oh, I have 9 months. That's more than enough time. And now that it's June, I already have 3 months. That's crazy. Hey, Carl, welcome to the chat. Thanks for the follow. Chat invented AI dart. What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys? It's already getting stolen from me. You know, here's the thing. Here's the thing, is that even if that gets stolen from me and I never get the credit, at least I can feel proud that I came up with something that caught on, you know? Also, by the way, if anyone's subscribed to the new channel... Sorry, I gotta turn this down for myself. If anyone's subscribed to the new channel, the video that I have coming out today is probably the most random thing that I've ever made my entire life. I have talked about it before. I have talked about doing it. I decided to do it offline because I couldn't send anything to my editor because I have no content for him. So I just decided to make this video. And no joke, it will be the most random thing you ever see, but I think it's personally hilarious. And it's gonna be like 1 minute and 40 seconds or something. So just mentally prepare yourself for that. Potato video too? No, no. It's not Potato Video 2. Also, Big Boy, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Cool. Please stop spamming the chat, and you can also just leave. It's okay. Please, like right now you are all caps spamming the same message until I acknowledge you, which is something that I don't want. You can also just leave. I started playing Fortnite again. When the hell did they add cats? I have no idea. I thought of a new word for finding AI. Oh, Midi Poots. I'd love to hear it. I graduated 3 days ago. Like, from... Actually, never mind. I'm not gonna ask. Congratulations. That's great. Did you see the Michael Jackson movie? No, but like any person who's chronically online, I saw a clip of somebody complaining about it on Twitter because people were having a little bit too much fun in the movie theater. People were having fun in the movie theater, and Twitter did not like that. And that's what I saw. Like any other Gen Z, which by the way, I'm Gen Z. Don't check. I'm Gen Z. Trust me. Twitter never has fun? You mean X? No, I mean Twitter. I have competition for AI, Dar. I'm the gamest in the land. I never play nice. What's Twitter and why does it matter? It doesn't. Twitter, like... Twitter only, like, okay, I know it's basically become popular to say this. Like, it's become popular to say this, and I'm really not trying to just, like, revoice what has already been said before, but Twitter really is a place to just fester hatred and negativity. But the thing is like, we all kind of know that, and we all kind of accept that. However, it's, like, encoded into our brains as humans to spread and engage with negativity. So it's like until we evolve out of that, you know what I mean? Until our brains evolve away from that, like Twitter's going to exist forever, you know? Or things like Twitter will exist for forever. It's like you can say, like I can say and you can say and we can say as much as you want, Twitter shouldn't exist and Twitter's an awful place and nobody should use it. But we're all us as a species, we all fall prey to it existing. It's our fault that it exists. Does that make sense? I prefer calling it shitter. Is that what the X stands for? The hive prime of cancel culture? Twitter? Cancel culture? No, I feel like both. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's literally just like, how do I say this? It's like all the bad things that like, if you avoided, I think everyone, like, if one avoided all the things that Twitter has to offer, one would be happier. And I'm saying one because I'm not talking to you or me or anyone. I'm just saying in general, I think that's the case. And yet, you know, it exists. I literally hate myself. Like, if I spend time scrolling on Twitter, I hate myself. So what I prefer to do is log in, post a video, have Alex31 like it, have Salty King like it, have somebody named Nova like it, and then exit the app. That's the true based way to play, or to be on Twitter. But like, here's the thing, guys. Okay, here's the thing, is like, here's the thing that really surprises me, is that like, I don't know. Does anyone here? I haven't really been reading chat. Does anyone here think that Twitter, the world is better with Twitter, or that Twitter is a good thing to have? And again, please tell me the truth. I'm not gonna. If you say something that is different from what I think, it's not that I'm not gonna care. It's that that's welcomed. Okay. So I speculate that most people would agree that Twitter is a really bad place, and basically it's just a negativity spreader, and nothing really good comes from it. But at the same time, if you look at what happened to Australia when they tried to ban social media, everyone was enraged about that. So the reason why I'm saying that is because to me it sounds a little contradictory that we can all agree that some social media, like Twitter, for example, is a really big net negative on all of us. And yet, when someone tells us we can't go on it, we get really upset. You know what I mean? Once you kind of impose on individual freedoms, everyone gets really angry about it. And in the same breath, we can all recognize that like something like Twitter is really a net negative for everybody. You know what I mean? Except for like if you're like a content creator who has a large following and can share and you know, you can advertise to brands who want to give you sponsorships your Twitter following such that you can make more money. You know what I mean? That's like the only positive thing I can think about it. Getting a reach to your audience. Or to not even your audience, an audience. It's addiction, we hate it, but we feel like we need it. That's what it is. Like okay, think about it. When are the only times where people say, yeah, this is really bad for me, or this is a big net negative, or Twitter is a cesspool, and yet like I'm just reciting all the very popular things that I've heard, right? All the things that everyone likes to say. And when it's forcibly taken away from you, and you not only do you protest that, you protest that aggressively. Like when does the only time that ever happens is during an addiction. You know what I mean? And like do I think that the majority of people are addicted to smartphones? Yes. And social media? Yes, I do. Am I saying that I'm exempt from that? No. I find myself scrolling on YouTube Shorts and Twitter sometimes way longer than I'd like, you know? But it's like, I don't know. The only way it can be described is by just calling it what it is, which is an addiction. I check Twitter at most once a week and rarely have a negative experience. To be honest, I only look at people I know and avoid the toxic mass altogether. Yeah, if that's the way you're using it, like if you're using it like social media is, that's how social media is meant to be used. Exactly what you just said, Pito, is how social media is meant to be used. I check Twitter. So, okay, let me just replace Twitter with social media. I check social media at most once a week and rarely have a negative experience. I only look at people I know and avoid the toxic mess altogether. That's what social media is supposed to be. You know what I mean? So if you're using social media in the way that it was intended when it was first created, then that's fine. But the problem is that makes you a vast minority. You are within the vast minority. You know? I think you pick your poison on Twitter. I think you pick your poison with everything. Most social media are made to be addicting, sadly. Yeah, you know, and here's the thing, is like, I personally, when I watch shorts, I hate myself. Personally. When I watch shorts or reels for too long and I'm scrolling for too long and I finish my session of scrolling shorts or Instagram reels or whatever, I hate myself. I'm saying that like I'm saying that kind of like I'm saying that as a joke kind of, but truthfully, let me just stop trying to make a joke. Truthfully, I do not feel good about myself. It's not that I hate myself. I'm like, wow, I just wasted all this time and I just laid. I lay right here. Hang on. Sometimes I lay right here for an hour. Right there on the floor for an hour. And I'll be like, I'm a night shower. And anyone else who's a night shower, tell me if you relate to this, okay? I shower at night. That's what I like to do. I don't like to shower in the morning because I like to wake up, make coffee, do my business, talk with my lawyer in the bathroom. I talk with my lawyer for about 5 minutes every morning in the bathroom. And then I just get right to work right away. I don't like to have to shower in the morning. And I like feeling clean when I'm in my bed. But because I'm a night shower, I often delay it and I procrastinate getting in the shower because I'm like, God, I don't want to go do this. You know what I mean? I do not want to go in the shower because it's just going to take a lot of time, and it doesn't. I just procrastinate for it. So what I do instead of going to take an 8-minute shower and keeping my nightly routine nice and, succinct, I will lay on my floor for an hour and either scroll on Twitter while hitting 15 more minutes, the extension on my time limit for 15 more minutes, like 3 or 4 times, or YouTube shorts, right? And then I go get in the bathroom after I finally hate myself enough, But when I do that, I'm like, bro, I just wasted so much time. I wasted so much time and I don't feel like I did anything and I can't even fucking remember what I did. I literally can't even remember what I just watched. And like, and especially a lot of the things on Twitter too, it's just like, it's literally just brain rot. It's either porn or something disguised as porn or brain rot or negativity, or you're scrolling on your feed and you just watch something horrendous, or somebody will be like, bro, tell me if you guys get these too. And by the way, I don't, what I'm about to say, I don't even interact with. So it's not me saying caught. I just scroll past these. I see them, I recognize what they are, and I scroll past them. It'll be like some channel, I don't know, saying Pokimane saw her viewers dropping, so she had to show off her talent or whatever. And it's just like it'll be like Pokimane just like standing up and like walking out the door, and it's like only someone who really lacks like human connection would think anything of a woman getting up and walking out of a room. You know what I mean? That's it. But it's like, it's only for engagement bait. And the thing is I don't even interact with those posts. And yet somehow it's because I think I follow like a bunch of streamers. You know what I mean? It's just insane. Why are we talking about this? Why did I say this? I know that this is the point of the conversation, but why are we talking about this? Night shower, yes, but the point of the story was not to tell you that I take night showers. Social media is a net negative, okay? That's the ending of that whole thought. I would open Twitter and look at the comment section of some random posts just to see OnlyFans promos. You know, this is not my personal thought. Also, Doorknob, thank you for the follow. This is not my own personal thought. I'm taking this from Northernline, but I'm sharing this as one would share a quote from a book. Okay? Am I comparing a Twitch streamer to poetry? Yes, I am. Okay? Northernline said something along the lines of, back in okay, this is him talking, not me. This is him talking, not me. Back in my day, you used to have to pay for that. Are times really so tough? And is it really so difficult to get attention nowadays that you have to give away your best material for free? You know? And by the way, that was him, and his chat thought it was funny. Okay, you can think whatever you want. His chat was eye-canting. But when he said that, I thought to myself, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Are times that tough? I don't know. You know? If that's what you want to do to make a living, you know what I mean? More power to you. Go ahead. But maybe it seems like there's a lot of competition nowadays, you know? NL is a modern Socrates. You know, I said something before. Thank you for saying that, Midi Poots. I appreciate it. I said something before that I brought up this point before, but I didn't explain it as well as I wanted to, so I'm going to talk about this again. Give me 2 seconds of your time. 2. Count them, 2 seconds of your time. I said before, Northernline is the most based streamer in every sense of the word today. And if you look at somebody like Extra Emily, and you look at somebody like FaZe Lacey, and you look at somebody like, I guess FaZe got canceled actually. I don't know why it did or when it happened or what happened. I'll just call him Lacey, okay? If you look at these people that are taking a break, and even Ludwig, right? You guys remember when Ludwig said, let's up those numbers? You remember that? About Mango? And then Ludwig just had to deal with that shit for like a long time, and you can tell that it really affects these streamers. But I have a theory. This is the perfect song. This is the perfect song for this. I have a theory that the reason why Northernline is the most base streamer, and although he deals with a lot of negativity, right? If you watch any Library of Latorno videos, you know that Northernline has to deal with a lot of Type A chatters and a lot of negativity. He can still remain true to himself and grounded in reality because he is a walking textbook example of how to be a streamer and still live a healthy life. He has a wife. He has a child. He's active in his community. You know what I mean? He is grounded in the real world. In fact, he might even be more grounded than any other streamer I know in the real world, right? He's not really chronically online. he has said that he's abandoned reading YouTube comments. He's abandoned engaging on Twitter. And while that, I don't know how accurate that is, to be honest, because it's not like I stalk him. I'm taking him for his word. I'm taking him at his word. And if that's the case, it truly makes sense that Northernlion, although he experiences the same amount of negativity as everyone else, he's able to brush it off and deal with it in a very healthy way. In that, he's able to recognize it for what it is. It's just people that, it's like, you know, drama frogs, right? People that maybe they don't necessarily have anything else going on, so they have to latch onto something like drama, right? And he recognizes that. Whereas you have people like Extra Emily, who, I'm not going to say that. You have, I'll use Ludwig. You have somebody like Ludwig who maybe necessarily isn't as grounded in reality. And so this drama that seemingly seems like a big deal if you're not grounded in reality, even though it's not, right? If you are grounded in reality, it would seem like nothing. If you aren't, then it seems like a much bigger deal than it is, right? But in reality, if you just close Twitter and don't go on it or whatever, it doesn't mean anything. Nothing, you know what I mean? It literally means nothing. And that's my theory. My theory is, like, the reason why Northernlion, number one, he's very smart and he's very well spoken, but number two, he has such a good base in reality and like the actual real world that I think he's able to do what other streamers are not, which is ignore the pointless negativity, whereas other streamers who maybe don't have that same base in reality find it to be a much bigger deal than it actually is. It's like an illusion. The less grounded you are in reality, the bigger the negativity feels. Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe I need to do more cutoff streams so it resonates with you guys more. Maybe Northern Ludwig and Extra Emily be like, ah! There. Does that click now for you guys? That's a big jawline, guys. Here's the thing: is sometimes the lighting does me dirty. Like sometimes I kind of look like a skeleton a little bit. You know what I mean? Twunkless. I like your name, first off, and second off, welcome to the chat. Where did you get that mic? I don't recommend it. I also just realized it was turned down this entire time. Well, that's actually the reason why I just said that is for that reason. I don't recommend it, but it's called the HyperX Quadcast mic. I reached out to them and asked for a sponsorship, and they ghosted me. So, in fact, fuck this mic. This mic fucking sucks. Don't use it. And the fact that you can accidentally randomly, you can be talking, and if you terrible fucking design. And the fact that if I move my mic like this, suddenly I can do that? Why would I ever want this? Why would I ever want this feature? Or I can crank it up to here, and now I'm talking like this. What's the point of this? I need to get a new mic. And a new chair. Hang on, guys. I gotta turn my fan up. Hang on. Okay, guys, going once for any last orders of business. You know, okay, speaking of this chair, I paid $40 for it, and it's lasted me almost 2 years. So, that's like, you know, $20 a year. How much is that per day? 40 divided by, what's 365 times 2? 730? I paid like 5 cents a day. Holy shit! It still costs me 5 cents a day? To sit in this fucking chair? I'm paying 5 cents a day. Holy hell. Jesus. Never mind. I thought it was going to be like less than 5 cents. Hey, Snowfall. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. And future hemorrhoid bill for sitting on a chair? Can we order food before we start? Do you want me to wait for you to order? Are you asking me to wait to order food before we start? For you to order food and for it to arrive before I start? I pay 5 cents per day for my chair subscription. Yeah, I subscribe to Amazon Chair. I use Amazon Chair. It's like 5 cents a day, you know. Which, if you think about it, there's really $1.20 a month, and I'm happy. You know, I'm happy. Can I react to Geodash? No. I mean, you're saying will I? No. Can you give me tips for Trobio? I'm rage quitting. Guys, all my tips for any bosses, first off, I get this question a decent amount. Can I give a tip for insert boss here? My tip is just going to be just practice it a bunch of times. You know? Practice it a bunch of times and learn the attacks, and when you learn the attacks, then you can plan for them better. There you go. We'll have to subscribe to Oxygen one day. Guys, you know, it's almost as if 3 years ago, an up-and-coming YouTuber came up with a very relatable video. 2 seconds. Watch this.
What?
Shut the fuck up. Okay, hang on. 2 seconds. It's almost as if an up-and-coming YouTuber had this exact same thought 20 years ago. 3 years ago.
What privacy in 2050 will be like?
So, God, you know, this is ridiculous.
What privacy in 2050 will be like?
So, God, you know, this is ridiculous.
What?
Guys, I think if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that me deciding to have a combed down hair look has done wonders. It's done wonders for my young person image. Okay? I'm proud of that video. Truthfully, I'm proud of that video. I downloaded Twitch just for you. Hey, Lawi! Welcome to the chat. Welcome. Okay, guys, are there any other orders of business before we start talking about Obsession? By the way, this is going to be a YouTube video. As soon as I start, it's going to be a YouTube video. 100%. I'm just letting you know. Kill me. People usually cringe seeing an old video. I mean, but like, here's the thing is like, people usually cringe at their old, there are videos we could watch that I would cringe at. If you go back and you watch my Rick and Morty video on the same channel, that video makes me want to die. But like, like, no one's gonna cringe at a video they're proud of, and I'm proud of that idea. Does that make sense? Peace out, big boy. Thanks again for the follow. This app session could be a YouTube video? I think you mean this app session will be a YouTube video. Luffy, cut that out, please. Cut out us talking about this and make it look like the chat's bullying me, but like, but make it look like I'm like deflecting, you know what I mean? Deflecting everything like a superhero or something. Ahmed has my Postmate order. Give me like 30 to 40 minutes before we start. No. Give him a knuckles. Quick! Somebody grab him. I'm gonna put his head in the toilet. We can give him a swoily. Alright, guys. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, shall we? I'm sick of not talking about it. Let's talk about it. Okay, so, here's the thing, guys. I'm just gonna crank this up. Here's the thing. I want to talk about the movie Obsession. Okay? Talking about the movie Obsession I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with talking about Obsession, but the reason why is because genuinely the movie is amazing. Honestly. I'm not just saying that. The last time I felt this good about a movie was after I saw Top Gun Maverick. And I talked about Top Gun Maverick so much when it first came out. I was in Kuwait. I talked about it so much every single day as I was teaching that I had students send me messages on Microsoft Teams of them watching Top Gun Maverick in their home theater at home, because 14% of the population of Kuwait is millionaires, so everyone has a home theater, basically. And they would send me pictures of them watching Top Gun Maverick because I talked about it so much. That's how much I glazed Top Gun Maverick. Which, by the way, I still think the movie's great. But the last time I felt this strongly about a movie was when that one came out. And now I feel the exact same way about the movie Obsession. But let me tell you why. For those of you that have not heard or have not seen this movie, this is the movie Obsession. Okay? It got an 8.2 on IMDb. It came out May 15th. And it's the backstory behind this movie, I think, is almost as interesting as the actual movie itself. So for anyone that doesn't use IMDb, by the way, an 8.2 is a phenomenal rating. An 8.2 with 55,000 reviews is even more impressive. And the popularity of this film was number one for a while, and then Backrooms came out, and now that's kind of trumped it because it's the new thing. But if this still doesn't look familiar to you, there's also this image. These two faces are the faces that I think are most memorable, in my opinion, from the movie. And if you haven't seen Obsession, you may have at least seen this woman, who's the lead actress in the movie. She did a fucking phenomenal job. I literally cannot. It's impossible to It's impossible to overhype how good of a job this actress did. She did it phenomenal. Actually, I believe the word nowadays is actor, regardless of, gender. The actor did a phenomenal job. But the thing that I think is the most interesting is the director and the actor, the director, writer, and the actor of this movie. So here's a quick clip. This is not spoilers, but here's a quick clip from the movie. This is just to kind of set the mood. Not spoilers, just to kind of set the mood for what type of movie we're talking about.
No.
What?
No.
Wait.
No, don't do that!
Okay, if I could sum up this movie in one snapshot, it would be that. Okay? But hang on, the point is the movie's crazy. The movie's crazy. It's a lot of fun. But the thing that surprised me the most is that this guy, Curry Barker, who I think is either 26 or 27 years old, who you may have seen come across your Instagram Reel feed, your YouTube Shorts feed, whatever it may be. This guy was the writer and director of the movie Obsession. Now, and also there's another guy who acted in the movie. I don't know if he had any part in writing and directing it. I don't think he did. I think he was just an actor. But you may have seen these two together. This is kind of a more recognizable picture of these two. Cooper Tomlinson was an actor, and Curry Barker was the writer and director for this film. Now, I believe the reason why I think this is so interesting is because the only time I've ever seen these two guys interacting is when this guy is acting like a total psychopath or just like a total clueless, weird person. He plays such a dumb character so well, and that's the only light that I've ever seen this guy in. And I'd like to play a clip for you. Maybe you've seen this clip, maybe you haven't, but chances are the shorts that you've seen, if any, go something like this.
I have one.
Oh, yeah, man. Totally. I love this game, man. I love this game.
Would you rather always be able to know when someone else is lying but never be able to lie yourself, or always be able to lie but never know when someone else is lying?
Okay, which one? Which one? You got to pick one.
I don't know, Curry. That's the question. Which one?
All right, answer.
No, I'm
okay,
not.
Here's the thing, by the way. Here's the thing. I'm gonna try not to pause this short because it's just a short. But here's the thing: is that you can tell, even though this guy, I'm gonna get to this eventually. I'm gonna get to this point eventually. But even though this is just a YouTube short.
Okay, which one? Which one? You got to pick one.
The subtleties in Cooper Tomlinson's face here is legitimately good acting.
I don't know, Curry. That's the question. Which one?
All right, answer.
No, I'm not answering you. I'm asking y'all.
He doesn't have to answer.
It's actual cinema.
For us. It's for you. I mean.
Oh, okay. I got one.
Curry,
I got one.
no, you got to answer.
No, this is good. This is a good one. I got one.
No, we didn't finish.
Would you rather have $1 billion? I'm talking $1 billion, or die the most painful death, just like the most painful death you've ever died, just like horrible death.
Take the $1 billion.
Oh, you take the $1 billion? Okay. Malcolm?
Yeah, I'd also take the $1 billion for sure.
Okay, you both taking the $1 billion. You greedy savages. All right.
That was not difficult.
You gave us the.
Okay. So you get the point. The rest of the short. There's a twist ending at the end. You go watch this if you want to. It's called "This Guy Just Doesn't Get It" by the That's a Bad Idea, which I believe is their YouTube channel. But there's a twist ending. The rest of the short is basically just this guy, the Curry Barker, not understanding.
Yeah, I'd also take the billion for sure.
Okay, you both taking the billion.
Not understanding how Would You Rather is played, okay? Now, you can imagine that if the only videos that I've seen of these two guys, right, the writer and director of the film, and then also the actor of the film, Curry Barker and Cooper Thomason, if the only videos I've ever seen of these guys is just them being, or at least one of them being a total weirdo dumbass, it literally blew my mind to see him in, for example, this interview with Cinema Blend, him talking just like normally and just seeing how actually intelligent and creative he is. So I want to play a little bit of this too.
I had already had this idea about obsession and kind of exploring that as a theme, because I think that there's something about human behavior when you're obsessed with something that's to be studied. Imagine a person being
just hearing him talk like this, I think kind of just blew me out of the water. But the reason why, just specifically, the reason why I find this so interesting is because as a small YouTuber and streamer myself, I think it's really cool to see someone get their fame from primarily shorts and making skits, right? I mean, it's basically sketch comedy, and see them go from that to making a horror film, which, by the way, I believe they spend, Luffy, will you fact check me on this, please? My editor, will you fact check me on this? I believe they spent about $750,000 on this film, and they grossed, I think, $85 million to date. And so it'll probably be grossing over $100 million. So that is an insane profit margin from this movie. You know what I mean? It's just absolutely insane. And I'm talking Top Gun Maverick. The last time I felt this way about a movie, like I said, was Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick, I think, spent like $180 million. And granted, I think they ended up grossing like $1.5 billion. I'm talking $1.5 billion, right? But that was like a huge, I don't know if you can say this with films, but AAA production film. This was basically an indie film, right? Essentially. And it's just doing so well. And just watching a YouTuber who just plays an absolute buffoon in most of the videos, make something like this, I think is so cool. Now, this was actually not the first horror film endeavor that they did. It kind of, by the way, before I move on, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Jordan Peele, how Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key, from Key and Peele, Jordan Peele ended up directing that movie called Get Out, but I feel more strongly about Obsession than I do about Get Out. So it's kind of the same vibe, but this is actually not the first type of horror film or horror-related thing that Curry Barker has made. He actually made a spoof video, a spin-off video on the same channel, That's a Bad Idea. It got 156,000 views over 2 years ago. And they made a spoof film, a spoof horror trailer thing. So like a parody of how horror trailers usually are, which looks like this.
Things are going great. I'm getting over my past mom trauma. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
How can I help you today, Kevin?
I just got a promotion at work. Thanks, Jake.
Hey, no problem.
I got a lot to lose. It would really suck if something bad happened.
And how's your State Farm agent?
There's something wrong with Jake from State Farm. Jake? I was just getting over my mom trauma.
Tell me more about Jake.
I had a dream last night.
Okay, I actually have never seen this before. I was planning on watching it for the first time right now, but I like how they have the therapist has a piece of paper with therapist written on it, taped with scotch tape on four corners.
Tell me more about Jake.
I had a dream last night.
Talk to me.
Jake was dressed up as my mom, forcing me to confront my past.
Other than these dreams, have you been seeing Jake lately?
He's right behind you. You gotta listen to me, Summer.
Jake is not real!
What are you doing? Open the door! Yes, you can! You can hear me! What the fuck?
Yeah, how do we stop him?
I gotta confront my past.
How does that help?
It always helps.
Doesn't seem like it helps.
No, it's gonna help.
How does that
No,
help?
it's gonna
I
help.
really feel like you should just cancel your insurance.
No, I've got to confront my past. It's a nasty past.
Can't be that bad.
My mom.
You love your mom.
My dad was abusive.
Your dad's the best.
I'm an orphan.
Literally not.
Whatever.
Well, you know what they say, like a good neighbor, stay farm.
Really? At 3 in the morning? What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Holy cinema! I've never seen that. I've never seen that. But okay, the reason why I'm saying this is because they've dabbled with horror before, and not only that, for anyone that doesn't know, first off, I hope that I'm sharing some news for some of you. But for anyone that didn't know that they dabbled with horror before, I've never seen this, by the way. This is hilarious. Curry Barker also did a horror, not really short film because it's an hour long, which I'm not going to watch on stream, but they did a horror film that they uploaded to YouTube that's an hour and 2 minutes long. They got 2.9 million views, called Milk and Cereal. This is not a parody. This is a genuinely scary film that I've not seen, but that I've heard about. And I would be very interested to watch it, but I'm not going to watch it today. But I think that's cool. It obviously got some pretty decent success on YouTube. 3 million views is nothing to scoff at, especially for an hour-long video. That's amazing. But yeah, and this is, by the way, I believe this is Curry Barker in the thumbnail. So apparently he is acting as the main, or at least the protagonist in this film, which I think is really cool. But guys, the point is that it's just nice, you know? I don't know if it feels that way for you guys to watch, like to see someone that you watch make something really cool. But as a small YouTuber myself, it feels so cool to see another YouTuber, another two people started with sketch comedy on social media blow up into something like this, right? I think it just kind of shows that, you know, there are a lot of YouTubers that are like genuinely very talented, and not talented in a brain rot, you know, stereotypical Zoomer way, but like genuinely super fucking talented. And Juno just told me that the director of the Backrooms is also 20 years old too, which I think is really cool. And I think there's also a second thing, which is like that it's, I don't want to say my opinion, but it is at least widely talked about that people are exhausted with Marvel movies, and people are exhausted with movies that just keep spitting out the same bullshit, right? That's the general consensus that I see online when talking about lots of big mainstream films, especially ones with sequels or too many sequels or whatever, right? We all know that people say that, right? There's a wide opinion that people say that. But it's so nice to see just someone seemingly out of the blue, right? Only with ties to YouTube and social media and sketch comedy, make an absolute banger. And I'm talking about banger of a movie. It's so fun. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of things that I've left out. There's probably quite a few details that I've left out. There's probably quite a few things that I don't know. Oh, wait, sorry. There was one more thing I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, I'm sorry. So you remember, I just showed you this film right here, the Milk and Cereal film. Curry Barker almost uploaded Obsession to YouTube as well. And I think someone convinced him, or he realized that that's not what he wanted to do again. And he ended up making the movie be exclusive to movie theaters. And again, they've made like over 100x what their budget, which is amazing. And it was the #1 film for a while, and I'm really glad that they didn't do that, although it still probably would have seen a lot of success. Now, as I was just saying, there's probably a lot of things that I've left out, probably a lot of things that I don't know, but I want to know. And Atriarch on the Big A channel made this Hollywood is Panicking video. I believe this is the director for The Backrooms right here on the left, and this is Curry Barker who directed Obsession. And I'd like to see what he talks about. I'm sure there's a lot of things that I don't know and that I haven't heard of yet. Maybe I will. But I wanted to watch this video, or at least the part of the video that he talks about the two movies. I don't know if anyone watches this channel, but a lot of times Big A will just go into tangents about like completely unrelated stuff like halfway through the video, or sometimes like a quarter of the way through the video, which I also do on my new channel. But whenever he starts to just change the subject, I'll probably just stop watching the video. But I'm curious. So guys, grab your popcorn. I'd like to learn as much as I can about this movie, because I really truly believe that it is a very unique, very groundbreaking movie. I loved it. I am obsessed with it to a degree. So I'd like to watch this.
I did want to talk about something big that's happening in the business world, in the entertainment industry. I want to talk about what's going on in Hollywood, or Hollyweird as you might know it, because some strange things are happening in the business side of the entertainment industry. These two movies, Obsession and Backrooms are two horror movies that are scaring a certain demographic more than all others. Now, Obsession is a movie about a guy who makes a wish to make this girl fall in love with him, and she gets way, way, way too in love. Very creepy, very spooky.
Okay, by the way, spoilers. Not even I was going to spoil that much, okay? Not even I was going to spoil that much.
Spooky performance. I really enjoyed this movie. The other is Backrooms, which is basically Chiwetel Ejiofor walking through a 90s Walmart backroom. I haven't seen this one yet. But both these are spooky, scary horror movies. And while when it comes to horror movies, you know, whether or not you were scared is kind of a personal thing. Some of them people find this scary, some people didn't. There is one group that found both of these movies very, very scary.
If he says young people, by the way, proof that I'm not old, genuinely. But I will say, I don't know how, like, I think at least everyone would be a little bit unsettled. If you're watching this movie in Obsession in the theaters, you would at least be unsettled. It's not necessarily scary in the sense of, like, if you're just completely numb to all things horror because you just love to watch thrasher films and torture films and stuff, I don't do that. So if you're completely numb to horror like that, then you probably wouldn't think this film is scary. But if you like dabble with horror movies or you like psychological thrillers, then this movie is at least gonna be thrilling for you. Maybe not scary, but at least very thrilling.
And that is Hollywood Executives. Because these two movies in the past 2 weekends have upended 3 major rules of how media and movies are done in the business that is causing all these so-called experts to scratch their heads and maybe be a lot less valuable. Look, first of all, number 1, there's an established rule. People want slop. Everyone knows this. People want...
I know that he's going to backtrack this, but here's what I will say. I think, again, I'm just quoting things I've seen before, but if we talk about the same exact Marvel movie conundrum that I was talking about before, how people are becoming exhausted with Marvel movies, the most popular response to that is people aren't like, and this is like someone like thought that their pen was on fire, but people aren't exhausted with Marvel movies. People are exhausted with mediocrity. People are tired of being fed slop that it's just there to churn a profit. People want something new, exciting. And it's like, while that seems very emotional and very, you know what I mean? Just very, it seems very emotional and very dramatic. I also think it's true. Like, how many things do we have today? Like, we had fucking Mario Kart World just come out, which is like the 9th Mario Kart in the franchise, maybe 10th in the entire franchise. So it's like, Nintendo's pumping out all these sequels. Marvel's pumping out all these sequels. It's like, it just feels like there's a lack of unique creative things. And I know that A-Track is saying this ironically, and I know that he's going to say, like, people love being fed slop. And I think that's because, like, yes, slop works. Like, there's a lot of slop channels that work, but I think it's because, like, there's just a lack of people coming out with new and creative things. But when they do, like this movie Obsession, when people do come out with new and unique and creative things that aren't slop, it's like people latch onto it because it's like, oh my God, this is a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? I know he's going to take it back, but let's keep watching.
Established, safe franchises. That's what they want. They want Mandalorian and Grogu. They want a sequel to a sequel to a sequel. They want an expanded universe. They want something they've seen before. That's why you know you can fund it and make your money and a safe return. The only problem is, it seems like audiences are really starting to lose interest in that. Not all at once, not the biggest and safest IPs, but generally, there is a slow drag on interest for all of these things that have been milked over and over again. Star Wars.
Here's what I will say. I was never really a Star Wars fan. So the Disney Star Wars movies, I just, like, that's like basically the only thing that I've ever known as Star Wars. I have nothing to compare it to. And I thought they were fine. I thought they were okay. Like, in my opinion, the Disney Star Wars movies is like, oh my God, we're never going to be able to beat this thing. And then it's like, oh, never mind. We found a way. Oh my God, there's this other thing that's really terrible. Oh, never mind. We found a way. Okay. The movie's over. And then like that was the Star Wars movies. So, but like, I thought it was fine, but genuinely, I used to love superhero movies. I used to. And I think at this point, I might rather, like, let me think carefully about this. I might rather blow my shit smooth off than watch a Marvel movie. And not because it's popular, but because, like, I don't know, it's like the same vibe. It's like, I think I would rather, I don't know, actually. Let me just put it this way. If I had to decide between watching a Marvel movie and playing Minecraft, I would have to think about it. And anyone that knows me knows that that says a lot. I'd have to really think about it. You know what I mean?
One of the biggest franchises in media history after this release is on life support. It dropped 69%, nice by the way, in 1 week at the box office, which means the first weekend and the second weekend are so drastically different. It basically means you have a very small, medium-sized, aging group of core fans. This property is running on fumes of the few Disney adults who still love Mandalorian and Grogu type content. But outside of that, it's not attracting new people in. So it's slowly but surely grinding down. This
Salty King, you say Infinity Wars was a big step away from the typical hero movie at the time. I totally agree. I loved the ending to Avengers Infinity War because it was like, it basically flipped the typical movie trope on its head. And then they came out with Endgame. You know, I don't want to give away spoilers, but it just flipped it back up, you know, right side up again. So I definitely thought Infinity Wars was a good movie, you know, and then Endgame came along and was like, hey, we just did the same thing. Everything's okay, guys.
Was the worst opening for a Star Wars movie in the modern era, worse than Solo. And if you adjust for inflation, it is the worst opening of all time. Maybe New Hope, when it was brand new. Maybe it's second worst. But it's essentially the worst opening for a Star Wars movie of...
Holy shit. Adjusting for inflation, $4.9 million for The Emperor Strikes Back is more than $81.9 million now? How bad is inflation?
All time. Which means something has gone wrong. People are worried, especially because this cost $165 million to make. Keep that number in mind. That's not even marketing cost. That's just to shoot it. On the flip side, Backrooms and Obsession are having incredible box office runs, and people are responding. This is a random review I picked, but it gets the tone across. People are saying Obsession was a great movie beginning to end. Haven't seen the movies in a while. It felt refreshing. And you can see this echoed through a lot of the YouTube reactions, short reactions, and reviews. People just feel refreshed. It's a new idea with unproven actors and actresses that kind of just came out of left field and was surprising and delighting. It was interesting. So number two,
I totally agree with that. And the thing that I forgot to say earlier that I want to mention is that I saw Obsession by chance. I went to see Obsession with somebody, and we saw it because they told me, I saw the day before I watched for the second time Project Hail Mary. And so I was like, I don't really want to watch that movie again. And they said, oh, my brother recommended me that we watch this movie because apparently it's really good. And his friend is the neighbor of the actor in the film, Cooper Tomlinson. So their brother's friend is the neighbor of the actor. And so that's how they heard about the film. And then they told them about the film. And then they told me. And so we saw it completely by chance. And I loved it. It was amazing. I truly, truly feel like it was very refreshing. Yes. Like the entire time I never thought about checking my phone. I never thought about anything other than the movie and something that I won't mention, but okay.
The second rule that's being disproven here. Gen Z doesn't see movies. Hollywood has known this. This is a fact. Everyone knows that Gen Z's on their phones, they're on their iPad, and they don't go to theaters. Theaters have been declining ever since COVID. There was a moderate bounce back, and then it's been back to decline. And everyone said basically the era of the theater is over. And yet, maybe it's that Gen Z does not want to watch movies made for Disney adults. Maybe they have different tastes. Maybe they want content made for them by people who understand things they're interested in. It shows, this is from a CEO of Cinepolis USA, a theater chain. When we have the right content, people from all ages are willing to go to the theater. And that's true because as Backrooms and Obsession draw Gen Z to the theaters, which by the way, they did in record numbers.
And also, by the way, Iron Lung too. Iron Lung is a movie that I've never seen. I never saw Iron Lung. I tried to, but it was too late. It was already out of theaters. And I think Markiplier just released a video talking about Iron Lung 2. But a lot of you guys, who I know a lot of you guys are younger than me, told me that Iron Lung was a very good movie and that I definitely should go see it. So I think I will watch the movie at home on whatever streaming service it's on. But yeah, I definitely want to see it. But yes, I agree. I think people that are producing movies that aren't going well like to say, oh, people just aren't going to the theaters that much anymore. But really, it's like an excuse for them just making shit content. You know what I mean? They're just like not making good movies or trying to pander the same shit to this, like to the same audiences. And they're wondering why new people aren't showing up to the movie theaters to watch their shitty fucking movie. You know what I mean? But it's so wholesome and refreshing and nice to see when a unique idea with new actors is made and it's done very well and it's a good story, people will show up for it. You know what I mean? It's basically proving that sentiment wrong, which I like.
Numbers, both AMC and Cinemark, two massive chains. AMC had the strongest May in 7 years. You know what happened in May 2019? Avengers Endgame. It's the strongest movie theater May since Avengers Endgame. And Cinemark had its highest May ever in the history of the chain. So these are like huge returns to form for theaters based on largely two movies that have, zero established franchise and a Gen Z focused audience. It's crazy. And then, so you look at the people making them. The people making them are Gen Z. This is Kane Parsons directed Backrooms. He's 20 years old, bro. He's directing a record-breaking $80 million opener, and he's 20 years old. He got his start making Backrooms found footage YouTube videos when he was 14. He's Kane Pixels on YouTube, and now he's directing feature films that are beating.
Guys, I don't know how to explain this, and I'm really curious if any of you guys feel this way. I kind of touched on this before, but I want to see if you share the sentiment. For some reason, that just makes me so proud. You know what I mean? It just makes me so proud because I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. Just hearing that, I'm not saying I'm necessarily proud of this Kane Pixels, whatever their name is. I'm not necessarily proud of them because I don't know them, but I'm so proud of the situation. Does that make sense? I'm so proud that there are people from a different generation that are coming out with bangers, and I'm talking bangers. And just seeing such great success, it just makes me, I don't know, it just makes me so happy. It makes me so happy that there's like, I think it's because of this, actually. Maybe talking about this has made me realize this, but I think it's because a lot of times when I say that I do YouTube, old people, okay, first off, I'm not ageist, okay? I have a grandmother. I have a grandma, I'm not ageist. Old people just have a hard time understanding YouTube and social media. So if you tell them I make content for YouTube, social media, yada, yada, whatever, they don't understand it. You know what my grandma says to me when she wants to know if I've worked on any videos or made any videos in the week? Because I call her every Sunday. She'll ask me every Sunday, she goes, did you do any more stuff on your computer? Which is her way of saying, did you edit any videos for your YouTube channel? That's the translation, because she doesn't know what I do. And I've described it to her. But seeing people that I know and recognize that have made successful social media content transfer over to footage that's understood by everyone, aka movies, just makes me so proud. It's basically making a name. It's setting a precedent and making a name for people that do similar things that I do, and I'm not putting myself anywhere near on the same level as them. I'm just saying we do similar things, and it's something understood by everyone. It's just so nice to finally have that be seen and understood by everyone that, that's alive right now. Basically, everyone can understand what a movie is right now. That's alive. Unless, do I have any 120-year-olds in the chat right now? I hope that makes sense.
Established Disney franchises. And on the other side, we have Curry Barker, who's only 26. Curry Barker directed Obsession. He's 26. And I looked at his YouTube past. He's got videos where he sticks his dick in a Doritos Minis.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Curry's Crazy Pranks. Today we got a crazy one for you. We got these Dorito Minis, but here's the catch. There's nothing in there. Woo! Woo!
What's up, guys? We're all set up here. Charlotte usually gets home around...
And now he is an auteur director breaking records at the box office. Now look,
here's what I will say. I am nervous. Like, I keep telling you guys that I think I would legitimately rather die than give up on making content. Legitimately. I would. And not in like a concerned way. In like a motivational way. You know what I mean? But I have said before, I'm like, if I ever were to try to return to the regular working world and they saw my content, I'd be fucked. But when I see something like Curry Barker sticking his dick in a Pringles box or a Pringles can and making a multi-million-dollar movie, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm not necessarily as fucked as I thought I was. I'm not as fucked as that Pringle can was during this video. Let me put it like that.
But you're an unk like me. Maybe you're like, damn, these Gen Z are coming fast and furious, bro. These guys there shouldn't be any Gen Z taking the lead. I'm already mad that James Bond is younger than me. The new James Bond is born in 2000, bro. He wasn't even remembering 9/11.
That's not even a person. This is an AI person, is it not? That's not even a person. This is a cartoon. How the hell is this James Bond?
It's problematic for an unk like me, but if you're Gen Z, this is pretty cool. These two guys are like showing that you don't have to wait for the gatekeepers. You could just make good content people are interested in, and it can go, in today's modern day internet word of mouth culture, it can go viral. You can make a ton of money at the theater. You don't need an established franchise. And I want to show you specifically with Obsession how insane their box office run has been so far. When Obsession comes out, I don't show their opening weekend, but this is the last day they were #1. This is May 20th, 2026. Okay, Obsession is top of the charts, beating Devil Wears Prada 2, Mortal Kombat 2, Project Hail Mary, Michael, Mario Galaxy movie, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry. I want to see when I saw, give me 2 seconds. I want to see if I saw this. Hang on. Sorry, this might be a longer pause. I need to see when exactly I saw this movie. I think it was... Oh, hang on. It was... Hang on. I gotta scroll really far back here. 2 seconds. Guys, just 2 seconds. All I ask for is 2 seconds. Count them in your head, and by the time you're done counting, I'll be done. I'll found the video. Hang on. May... 2 seconds. 2 seconds. May... God damn it. May... Okay, I found it. Hang on. 20th. May 20th. Okay, so I saw it. Wait, I saw it the day it came out! Oh my god. Wait, I saw it the day it came out? Oh my god, I saw it the day it came out! Guys, okay, can I tell you one thing that tripped me up? I was looking on IMDb. Someone, when the movie was being recommended, I'm like, hang on, let me check IMDb. Let's see if it's worth seeing our time. Yes, okay, I do that, all right? I'm letting you know a little bit about myself, okay? Judge me if you want, but just know that I've kind of enjoyed it a little bit. But I looked it up, I saw it got an 8.2, and it said, for some reason, it says 2025 on the release year. So I'm like, oh, it's an older movie. But it actually came out the day that I saw it. I think, which is crazy, that's insane, actually.
And the next day, on Thursday, Mandalorian and Grogu comes out, and it takes #1. It should be over now. Then it's Mandalorian and Grogu on Friday, on Sunday to Monday, and...
Oh, thank you, Super Name, because it released at a film festival, thank you.
Then, on Wednesday, Obsession takes #1 back. It's been 2 weekends since it came out, and it retook #1. That literally never happens, especially from an indie film versus an established. That's unreal. That means the word of mouth is so strong that you are overcoming the natural decline that happens to all movies and actually gaining spots. It's crazy. It is the only wide release horror film on record to ever grow its second weekend at this scale. Up 30% over opening. That is crazy. They are now 3 weekends in and they have grown every weekend. That is so extremely rare. The last movie of any real size to do that was Jaws in 1975. I mean, that's crazy.
That's okay. I watched Jaws we did Jaws on the Water that exists here in Austin, and it's where you blow up inflatable tubes and you go sit out on a lake while you watch Jaws via projector on a screen as you're sitting on a lake. And there's guys that dress like that get in scuba gear, and they have little oxygen tanks, and they swim around and they'll like tickle your feet and stuff. Now that I'm saying that out loud, that sounds a little weird, doesn't it? Like they'll walk around and tickle your feet and like mess with your tube and stuff. And okay, actually, wait, sorry, I'm gonna take kind of an aside right now. I met the guy that dressed up in the suit before he started swimming around, like he was in his full suit. And I'm just gonna say this. If, you know, I would be a little nervous to check the guy's crawl space that I talked to. The same guy that was swimming around. Guys, I hate to judge a book by its cover, okay? And I'm not necessarily only judging the book by its cover. I'm judging the book by its cover and the the prologue, you know, the summary on the back of the book. That's what I'm judging right now. But yeah, you know, it was kind of weird, to be honest. But the reason why I'm saying that, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when I watched the movie Jaws on the lake, I remember when the movie finished, I'm like, this is one of the best movies of all time. I didn't really understand it. I'm like, a lot of it just feels like a really slow, not much is happening. You know, like the action scenes are way few and far between, but maybe it's just because I'm used to like content nowadays, you know? But it would blow my mind that Jaws popularity spread word of mouth. That actually blows my mind.
That literally means people just willed it to do better. It wasn't marketing money. It was like people's word of mouth. That's really cool. Speaking of Jaws, I'll talk about that in a second, but I want to go through these backgrounds a little bit. These people are not coming, much like Steven Spielberg when he got Jaws. They're not coming from established background. Backrooms had a budget of only 10 million. Obsession had a budget of only 750K. And they're grossing record-breaking numbers. Obsession's on track to hit 300 plus million in
Holy shit. Okay, so I was totally wrong. I said 85 million before. I didn't realize it was already 148 million. I guess that just goes to show how fast it's growing right now. That's insane.
Box office, which is one of the biggest movies of the year and would make this one of the most profitable movies of all time in the history of film.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, if anyone's like, oh, I don't know if I can trust Trevor's word, I don't know if I trust his word, like, don't take my word for it. How many times has Atriox said this is like blown the fucking history books out of the water? You know what I mean? In every sense of the scenario. Like Obsession, the film is just that good. It's very, very good.
And so, you know, the big linchpin that's changing the industry here is YouTube. YouTube has completely removed the gatekeeping aspect of Hollywood. It's removed the leverage they had over their ability to find an audience. And so YouTubers are starting to find an audience and then use that to get projects they wouldn't be able to get before. It kind of started, the first pioneer of this was this.
Guys, that's what I'm saying. Please, for the love of fucking God, somebody contact Team Cherry and show them all the times that I've done voice acting. Or anyone. Contact anybody, honestly. You contact your grandparents and just show them my voice acting clips.
Australian YouTube duo Raka Raka. You go back 5 years ago, they're making YouTube skits about Pokemon Rampage and Ronald McDonald. You go back 4 years, they're doing sneaking into a Mr. Beast video. You go back 3 years, they're making a horror film called Talk to Me. And then you go back 2 years, that film has become their highest grossing horror release of A24. And it is intensely beloved on Metacritic. Talk to Me is like...
I haven't seen this film. I actually haven't even heard of this film, but...
What kicked this off was one of the first big YouTuber experiments. But you flash forward to this year, earlier this year, and you have Markiplier, who did it himself with a self-financed, self-funded movie where he self-published it. And got, I think as an individual, he got 50% of the gross, which the studios would never allow, but he didn't have to care. He spoke to the theaters himself. I mean, we interviewed him on Lemonade Stand, and he said,
it wasn't my goal to set out to do it, but the number of people that are at least talking about it raises this conversation and kind of legitimizes this. It was something that they were, I think, willfully ignoring. At least a lot of Hollywood was willfully ignoring the potential of YouTubers here. And actually that reminds me, because I got catch up with Freddie W. I haven't been ignoring you, Freddie. I swear. I've been sleeping a lot and vacations, taking my wife out to dinner. I'll get back to you really soon.
He's our top commenter on every episode. Anyway, he was saying Hollywood was willfully ignoring the potential of YouTube to build an audience for film outside of their system. And slowly but surely, it eroded their power over that system. And he said this is a wake-up call to them.
Is a bit of a shift here because I've had a couple meetings with some students.
And now Hollywood is reaching out to him desperately, trying to figure out what's the sauce that allowed this to happen. How can we catch up?
Some executives, some key people in the world, and they're all asking me the same thing, which is, how'd you do it? How did you do it? How'd you do this? And so clearly they...
I like Markiplier's impression right there. I just like thinking that it's like big Hollywood executives. And they're like, wait, you didn't just make terrible fucking slop that's a sequel? It's the 10th sequel to whatever, whatever fuck Master 22 or whatever. And it's like, you made actually original content? How did you do it? What did you do? Did you sit down and get creative? Did you have to get creative in some way? What is that like? What's that experience of actually sitting down and thinking of an idea? Can you tell me what that's like?
want to know because
They want to steal it. They want to steal it.
I mean, yeah, that's basically it. They
try
see
to
money.
bottle your blood.
Exactly. They got money being made, and they can see the threat that's there. They see that, oh, if people can make this independently, that means less of the pie is available. So we got to be smart. And I think that's good. Like, they need some competition. They need a kick in the ass, because I don't want to destroy the studios. I'm not setting out to do that. I think that studios have made some really incredible films that are very.
Yeah, okay, so he's not setting out to destroy it, but he wants to kick him in the ass. You know, so you had Raka Raka, you had him. It's a trickle. But as of now, as of this May, it's starting to become a flood. Not only are Obsession and Backrooms kicking the ass of an established franchise that, again, the budget was like 100 times bigger than both of their budgets combined, but there's a lot more YouTube films coming down the pike that maybe start to upset the apple cart here. And when you ask the...
You know, here's what I will say. Okay, two things. Number one, I just want to make it clear again that I'm not saying that just because a film is AAA or whatever the equivalent for movies is, means it's bad. I loved Top Gun Maverick, but Top Gun Maverick had a genuinely good story, good actors, good cinematography, good score, everything. Like, it was just a good movie. It was a very well-rounded movie. But the second thing is that what I really hope doesn't happen is that big executives realize that YouTubers actually have a lot more potential than what they thought, and that they're coming up with really good, unique ideas, and just try to buy them out, like we watched with that one, the one video that talked about how YouTube channels are getting bought out by private equity. I really hope that doesn't happen, because I feel like what's going to happen then is 30 years down the line, everyone's going to say that YouTube is for old people, and like whatever the new app is going to be called, let's say it's called like, you know, Rip Chingle, like that's the new app or whatever. And it's like not even an app, it's like a holographic, you know, VR simulator type thing or whatever. And like people are like, oh yeah, like 30 years down the line, I'm like, oh, what's a Rip Chingler? You're telling me Rip Chinglers have, you're telling me they know what they're doing? And like, I'm like an old guy, you know what I mean? I feel like the cycle is just going to continue, but I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that like YouTubers are able to stay independent and just make what they want without any influence of anybody who's a billionaire, you know?
Director of Obsession, which they did on the incredible Dead Meat podcast. Shout out to Dead Meat. Love these guys. Curry Barker's got some things to say.
What's really interesting is that we just live in a time where YouTube is a thing. You know, I don't think my path is that different than Steven Spielberg, or like, not comparing myself to these people, but just saying their path to how they got to where they are. You know, you can watch an early Christopher Nolan short. You can watch an early David Fincher short film. These people kept making short films and hoping and praying that somebody important would like it and give them a shot. I mean, that's kind of what happened to me. That's
kind of what happened, but this time you can do it directly to the audience. That is the key unlock. They're able to skip knowing some person in Hollywood or the politics of that, and just, if something finds an audience through the YouTube algorithm, you have a lot more leverage. I like this tweet because it kind of covered what I think is probably going to happen. Hollywood is going to take some good lessons from this and some bad lessons from this. The correct one is that clearly there's a new form of media that is gaining attention. They need to pay attention to it. The wrong form of media is that they're going to just try to throw a check at any possible YouTuber they can.
That's what I just said. I just said that, bro. My guy, bro, if that happens, it's going to be terrible. Like, that's like, genuinely, I'm going to be so sad if that happens. I literally cannot explain how sad I'm going to be if that happens, because it basically just means like, if that happens and they just throw a big check at whatever YouTuber that they're like, oh, this person has potential. We'll pay you $100 million flat to work for us, but and to like give our message or whatever. It's just going to be, because we're going to get the same slop and the same shit again for however long, until somebody new comes along and has to build a name for themselves, and the whole cycle is going to start over. So God, I really hope that doesn't happen.
Because they don't understand what's good and what's bad. But the next gen of IP will start on YouTube. There's going to be good and bad results from this. But instead of spending hundreds of millions on mediocre concepts that don't bring people to theaters, they can tap into creators who already have millions of subs with proven concepts. Yeah, it's like a content renaissance. You could just test things out. Short form versions of things can be tried on YouTube to see if people have any attachment or like to it, and then use that as a testing ground to build full-length films that have an audience already. The hosts, they described it as being similar to a Renaissance period in early Hollywood called New Hollywood.
I think that, I was thinking about this the other day, there is kind of a weird parallel right now to New Hollywood, and where there were all these directors kind of making stuff through this new pathway as a reaction to this weird kind of dinosaur studio system that wasn't.
Hey, okay, this is not related to the video, but look, the emotes aren't working here either. Look up is not working. Noted is not working. Do you guys remember how on Saturday? Wait, I wonder when this was filmed, when this was streamed. You remember how on Saturday our emotes weren't working? Maybe it was a 7TV thing.
Working anymore and was kind of collapsing in on itself. And I do see parallels to that.
Yeah, 100%. So New Hollywood was in the 70s, and it was where part of it had to do with antitrust, actually, where they started breaking up the studio system, and it gave this room for real directors with things to say to break through. They didn't have to go through the established studio system. And we're
Scenics, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stream.
We're seeing that again now. Now that the Hollywood system has gotten so old and so dragging along on its last legs, ever since Endgame, basically, it's been on a real downhill. They haven't had anything new of that level, nothing that gets people excited. And so finally, new ways are finding around that to break through. It was kind of like this, okay? So the old model is
before he explains this, I kind of want to talk about real quick why it is personally so important to me that the platform to make and the platform to cultivate unique, fresh ideas is so important to me. I'd like to talk about that. And I think a lot of people will feel similarly because, to be honest, I'm literally just like an average guy. Like I feel like I do a good job representing the average opinion because I am an average guy. Like genuinely. I'm not necessarily super smart. I'm not necessarily too far in one direction. I'm just like a guy. But for me, I feel like when I was younger, and this might just be nostalgia, but when I was younger and before a bunch of just like sequels and the same shit was getting made over and over, like The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time was maybe the fifth Zelda franchise at the time, fourth, before they had made, the 12th or whatever. I didn't feel like I was exhausted by the content that was being made. And even when I was a teenager, so a little bit older than like just a kid, I still felt like things were like kind of new. But recently, like ever since I became an adult, like 18 years old, I just feel like the same repetitive shit has been made. And yes, there have been outliers. And yes, there have obviously been unique and creative ideas that have done very well. But I just feel like the amount of slop and the Call of Duty 27, Black Ops 40, you know what I mean? Just like the amount of repetitive stuff that's safe, that companies are turning out for a profit, and they're not necessarily trying to make a new game. They're just trying to make a new product to sell you because they know that it's familiar and that it's going to work. Like that really has become exhausting over a long period of time. And I want so badly to, as an adult, enter a phase of entertainment, whether it be video games or movies or whatever, where I can feel like there's new, fresh things again. And I can feel as passionate as I do about this movie Obsession that I like so much about, a whole new genre of things. I want so badly for that. Not only as a streamer, like so I can talk about it on here, but just in general. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's important to me. And that's why I just really hope that we don't go the direction of Hollywood just handing out big checks. Because like Atrax said, they don't understand how to do what these YouTubers are doing, you know what I mean? So they just need to pay someone to do it, if that makes sense.
The filmmaker had to go through a studio gatekeeper because they had access to the marketing spend to get the audience. Let's see if you can see it. That's it. That's the only way. But now the filmmaker can bring their own audience. They can go around the studio or at least go to the studio with a lot of leverage and go straight to the cinema. And this changes things. It takes all the power back. When a filmmaker shows up with 38 million subscribers, the studio's leverage collapses. But it doesn't have to be 38 million. It could be 4. It could be,
He's talking about Markiplier.
A million view video. Anything that gets it out there in a way that they can't control gives you a lot more leverage that filmmakers haven't had in the past. They become checkbooks instead of gatekeepers. So that's sort of the 3 things that have been like undone. The 3 established ideas have been undone. But there's one that has a big question mark for me, because so far, all of the films to do this, to bring this new model, have been horror. And so the question becomes, can a YouTube creator or a Gen Z creator going a different way find a way to do this without doing a horror movie? And the reason for this is obvious, same as horror games. They're cheaper to make and they're easier to market. Again, these had really low budgets, and yet you can sell them on the creepiness and the idea, like the scare of it sells itself in a way. Again, I'm sure Hollywood will take the wrong lesson and go all horror.
You know what is weird? I actually saw a video title and thumbnail with the concept saying, why do sketch comedy writers and sketch comedy YouTubers and content creators, why are they all so good at making horror films? Because it is weird, because this Curry Barker, I'll just say, because he directed and wrote the whole story. Cooper Tomlinson also acted in it. You also had Jordan Peele from Key and Peele. I don't know if you necessarily count that the guy that made the Backrooms, but there's like a handful of sketch artists that made really good horror films. H-Rock talked about one earlier that I can't remember, but it's interesting. I wonder why that is.
Make 1 million horror films. The real lesson is that they're creative, original, breakthrough ideas. And I think it can be done. A few have already started to happen. Apparently there's a YouTube cartoon called Amazing Digital Circus or something like that. They already have done a film coming out soon. It has 7.5 million in pre-sale tickets already and is expanding to more theaters than...
Have you guys heard about this? Have you heard about the Amazing Digital Circus? I feel like some of you have talked about it. I have not heard about this. But 7.5 million in pre-sales is pretty nuts. Of course. Yes, I'm seeing this. I'm going this week. It comes out this week? What is the... Hang on 2 seconds. What is the Amazing Digital Circus? What is that even? God, am I old? Am I old? Be honest. Wait, this was Narcos PFP for a while, wasn't it? Wasn't this a Narco PFP? Amazing Digital Circus series follows... Hang on, let me just pull this up. Amazing Digital Circus follows Australian independent adult animated web series created when written and directed by Gooseworks Glitch Productions. The series follows a group of humans trapped inside a circus-themed virtual reality simulation where they struggle with an erratic artificial intelligence and personal traumas. Okay. I've heard about it. I've never seen it. I've never seen anything about it. I've just heard about it. But interesting. You're old? Surely not. Surely I'm young. Thank you, George. Glitch Studio finally made a series that ended. Okay. Is it worth... Would you guys say it's worth watching? Like, from what's available so far, would you say it's worth watching? It's a good show? It's pretty good, Curb Eater? Okay. It's pretty good. Okay. Interested to see how the movie does, then. Oh, it's amazing. Okay.
I don't know Amazing Digital Circus. I don't know it, but apparently it's quite popular, and Hollywood's already picked them on that. I think a lot...
Oh my God, maybe I am just fucking old, bro. Because H-Rock's like 34, and I literally just said the exact same... Like, in the exact same cadence, in the exact same way. I just said the exact same thing. Oh my God. Guys. It's happening. It's actually happening.
A lot of this stuff is starting to get picked up, and it'll be outside of horror. And I think that is where we're headed, is more and more things are going to find their audience outside of this and then just show up with a demand. One thing cool, I don't know if I have the clip here, but when they interviewed both of these guys, both of these directors, these young guys who shouldn't be able to like get complete creative control, they did. The studio never came in and stopped them. The studio basically was afraid of telling them what to do. And they had creative control to make the film how they wanted. It was quite a dub. That's not normal. If they went to an established franchise, if they directed Jurassic Park sequel or Star Wars sequel, they would be following a script. They'd have to do exactly what the studio wanted. And now they don't. That's cool to me. And so I'm going to close it by saying what Kurt...
By the way, is that not just insane aura to... never have made a film before in your entire life, and during the process of making, again, your first ever film, the Hollywood producers or the Hollywood executives are scared to tell you what to do? Is that not just aura farming at its finest?
Barker said in an interview.
What advice would you give to people who are maybe experimenting in that space or maybe even dabbling in filmmaking?
It's very simple, but I think because I know all these people, even my friends that always are telling me that they want to do a short film or they want to do this or they want to do that, and the thing that always stops them is that they're scared that it won't be good enough or that their idea isn't good enough. Don't put too much pressure on your first, second, third, fourth, fifth film. Don't do that. Like, go make a shitty film. Allow yourself to make 5 bad films. If you put too much pressure on one idea, next thing you know, 2 years have gone by, you haven't made a single movie. So just go make something.
I think that's great advice.
I also think that's... I'm old. I'm actually just old. I was just about to hit the pause button and say I think that's fantastic fucking advice, guys. Okay, but let me tell you why. Okay, let me tell you why. I'm gonna say something different than A-Truck. Let me tell you why. I think that's fantastic fucking advice, and the reason why is because I've had so many people. I recognize that I'm really not that big of a YouTuber. I recognize that. Okay, I'm not. I don't have that big of an audience. I don't. I still do not believe that. Genuinely, I don't. And that's realistic. That's not me being humble. That's me being realistic. But I also have had many people come to me, whether it be people that I don't know or people that I do know, people that are my friends IRL or just random DMs on the internet, asking me for advice on how should I make videos? What should I do with my channel? Yada, 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 right? And everybody loves to have ideas, and everyone loves to share their ideas. But when it comes to actually sticking with something and doing it, even though you fail, when it comes to doing that and seeing your failures over and over and over again, and then continuing to make videos, no one does that. No one fucking does that. You have to be fucking delusional to do that. And that's why currently on my new channel, nobody fucking does that. On my new channel, Trevor Treefort Daily, at Trevor Treehouse, I have, how many videos have I made so far? 37 fucking videos, okay? Most of them, 57 views, 53 views, 27 views, 346, 47, 66, 75, 94, 89, right? Nobody fucking does this. People would make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 videos, probably one video and then just quit. But it's like, you have to learn to just keep going. You know what I mean? And like, I know that things are growing slow right now on that new channel, but I'm not going to quit. You know what I mean? And it's very rare that someone does that. You know what I mean? So, you know, I totally agree with that advice that like, you just have to like, don't, if you release 100 videos and they all don't do well, that shouldn't discourage you to quit releasing them, especially if you're enjoying making them. You know what I mean? Like, you have to learn and be comfortable with the fact that you're going to fail. It's not that you might fail. It's that you will fail, and you have to keep going. You know what I mean? It's like the only way that you truly lose is if you give up before you succeed. Does that make sense? That's the only way you lose. You can't. If I die tomorrow, I would not consider myself a loser because I never quit. Do you know what I mean? Ever. And I feel like that's the only way you lose is if you just stop trying. That's the only way you really lose.
And given that Hollywood is clearly going to be throwing paychecks at YouTubers as they desperately look for another hit, all I'm saying is I'm open. All I'm saying is I've got an established
really good input
audience. We've got the views, and I'm open to it. Hollywood, call me. Thanks for watching Big A.
Yet another banger video. Guys, out of the two most frequent people that I watch on YouTube is probably Atriac on the Big A channel, and then also Josh Strive Hayes. Both people in their 30s that talk about old people stuff. I'm making a game since that year. It was inspirational. Yeah, keep at it. Keep at it. Literally, keep at it. Like, I'm not joking. If, like, you know, one thing that really put my mind at ease is, if you want to be in the top 1% of people that make stuff, you literally just have to make stuff and not quit. That's all you have to do. And you're top 1%. If you want to be a top 1% streamer, well, maybe like top 5% streamer. If you want to be a top 5% streamer, just don't quit. Just do it and then don't quit and make content and don't stop doing it. And eventually something's going to happen. You know what I mean? I had no clue that Sans video was going to go where it went. And honestly, if I could go back, I probably wouldn't have released it. Honestly, but you know what I mean? Like, you never know when an idea is going to pop off. Like, it's almost like everything you make is a lottery ticket. But it's like, as long as you just keep going, you will be in the top at least 10% of, you know, content creators, which I think is a really comforting, that's a very comforting thing for me. As long as you just keep doing it and you don't quit, you know, something will happen, which I think is very comforting. Hey, Cohen, welcome to the stream. Guys, the point of that whole segment was Obsession is a fantastic fucking movie. How are you? Great. Thanks for asking. How are you? Okay, now I feel like I truly feel like I've gotten everything that I need to get out about Obsession, and I don't feel like I have to talk about it anymore. I could keep talking about it. I don't feel like I have to anymore. Before, I genuinely felt like I had to. And I can also close this entire tab. Guys, I was so scared that this tab was going to close before. I prepped this all before stream, and I was terrified that I was going to accidentally close all these, because I had them set up in the exact order I wanted to go. Gotta close it. So Hunter x Hunter ruined, right? Guys, speaking of Hunter x Hunter being ruined, I would love to watch Hunter x Hunter on stream one of these times. But the thing is like... Is my channel gonna get nuked if I do that? Like, if I delete the VOD, is my channel gonna get nuked? Because people are watching Mean Girls. People are watching Brokeback Mountain on Twitch. How the hell are they getting away with that? Why are some companies allowing that? Is every company allowing that? I don't know. Do a new channel? No, I don't mean... I'm not uploading it to YouTube. Do a new Twitch channel? I would just stream it here on Twitch. I was watching your VOD from the stream where you gave streaming shorts advice, and I found it super inspiring and thought you gave great advice, but I'm kind of in a rut because I feel like I don't have clippable moments from my streams. Everybody has clippable moments from their streams. Literally everyone. Like, as long as you're talking, I feel like everyone has clippable moments. The problem, like, the only thing is, like, you just finding the moments where you're like, okay, this could be funny, and I have to make people realize this is funny by framing it in a certain way. And it all goes back to the same thing where I said in the beginning you have to hook somebody right away. Sub or dub? Banana Dude, I'm speculating why you're asking that question, and I personally want to say I don't care what someone watches. I don't think one is better than the other. I do find some dub voice acting to be a little bit cringe, but I think it's because of the way that anime characters talk. It's just so widely different from how we talk in English that it just sounds a little cringe. But if someone watches dub, I don't care. More power to them. I personally like to watch in the native language. So I watch sub, and then I use subtitles. But recently, because I'm trying to brush up on my Spanish, I've been watching Spanish audio with Spanish subtitles. Speaking of Spanish, look for the video either... Wait, it's either going to be today or tomorrow. I think today's video is something different. I think today's video is going to be goated, by the way. But tomorrow's video also going to be goated. Speaking of Spanish, look for tomorrow's video. I think it's going to be tomorrow's video, I think. We'll see. What, the English dubbed ghost stories on stream? Yes, yeah, that's what I heard of, bro. That's you want to know how I found out about Ghost Stories? For anyone that doesn't know about that, Ghost Story, for anyone that doesn't know, is an anime that was infamous for its English dub, because the show, and correct me for anyone that knows, correct me if I'm wrong. The show basically said, hey, just do whatever you want with the English dub, do whatever you want. And so they kind of took like a huge creative liberty and kind of just like made a bunch of memes in their voice acting. But I found out about it because of this. Chris, Deltarune, Noel, put the donuts down? Put the donuts down? Put the Krispy Kremes down? Yes, this. Okay, watch this, watch this. I found out about what Ghost Stories was from this short. From this Deltarune short. Watch this. By the way, go next to your parents and turn the volume all the way up. Go next to your parents right now, turn the volume all the way up. I'm being serious. I'll give you guys like 10 seconds. I'm being serious. Go to your parents, turn the volume up right now, as high as you possibly can, and make sure it's blasting and stand next to your parents. 5, 4. Here we go.
A police station! Thank God! I never thought I'd be happy to see one of those things. Hey, put the donuts down! Drop the Krispy Kreme, Serpico! We need your help here!
I also like my father and my brother after 9 months or something.
Yeah, diggity! A police station!
The first time I saw this, I've shown this on stream before, but the first time I saw this, I watched it like... I probably watched this short like 20 times because I thought it was so funny. I thought somebody had voice acted this specifically for this short, but it turns out this voice acting came from Ghost Stories, the English dub.
A police station! Thank God! I never thought I'd be happy to see one of those things. Hey, put the donuts down! Drop the Krispy Kreme, Serpico! We need your help here!
I also like my father and my brother after 9 months or something.
Yeah,
oh man. So that's basically what Ghost Stories is. It's like it's a whole anime with voice acting that's pretty much just like that. Not all the time, but like there's just a lot of really good moments. I'm so glad I didn't put my headphones off. Sounds like they had fun in the voice booth. I know, yeah, I know. It's like I don't know. Stuff like that I think is genuinely entertaining. Diggity diggity dig 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 diggity. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you? My parents are in another continent? Surely you're not talking about Antarctica, right? Right? Jam Jar? Surely you're not talking about Antarctica, right? I genuinely watch every so now compilations of ghost stories because it's so funny. Yeah, every so often, yeah. I actually haven't... I've seen just that scene that we just watched. I've seen the actual animated version of that. I haven't seen many others. Their parents work with Santa. Alright, guys. If there's no other orders of business... I warned you. I warned you it'd be short. Quick, quick! Somebody order some business! Guys, 07, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Be on the lookout. Honestly, I think today's video is particularly entertaining, and I don't know why. I just think I think it's funny. So be on the lookout for today's video on the @TrevorTreehouse, and then tomorrow's gonna be a banger. Tomorrow's gonna be an absolute banger video. But next stream's gonna be Thursday. I'm hoping I can stream for longer, but I don't know. We'll see. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. 07, peace out.